Get those things out of here before someone gets hurt. That's what our HOA president shouted about my dogs one Tuesday morning, except you know what? By Friday, she was pulling moves I never thought I'd see from a neighbor. Here's the punchline right off the bat. She had no idea. My German Shepherds, Rex and Shadow, weren't just your regular backyard pets. She figured their quiet meant they were timid or busted somehow. She was dead wrong. If you threaten my family, you better hope those pets of mine really are just dogs. This is the story of how one woman found out the hard way that you don't mess with a military working dog's family. So let's rewind to where this all kicked off. Victoria Allen, the HOA president, comes strutting up to our front door wearing that plastic smile folks wear when they're about to drop a grenade into your peaceful little world. She's clutching her HOA clipboard like it's got launch codes, and she's got her cousin Derek tagging along, recording everything like he's prepping evidence for some kind of reality TV courtroom. The whole thing is amateur hour, but let me tell you, never underestimate the damage a dedicated amateur can do when they decide to ruin your week. Mr. Brooks. Victoria says, all official like, I'm here about your dogs. The Homeowners Association's gotten multiple complaints about aggressive breeds. You're in violation of community safety standards and insurance requirements. Derek, meanwhile, is zooming his phone in on Rex and Shadow, hoping to catch some National Geographic action, but all he gets is two German Shepherds who look at him with the sort of polite, unimpressed interest you'd give a slightly weird guest at Thanksgiving. My wife, Sophia, steps into the doorway, and I watch as Victoria's face changes. She clocked Sophia's calm and saw how the dogs flanked her naturally, not random, but protective, like they were trained to cover all the exits and entries. Derek's narrating for the camera. See how they're positioning aggressively classic, dangerous breed behavior. The irony was beautiful. He was filming the exact opposite of what he thought. These dogs will need to be relocated within 14 days. Victoria goes on getting into her speech. Derek chimes in. Yeah, we've researched German Shepherds. They're basically ticking time bombs. He tells a story about a cousin's neighbor and a hospital bill and lawyers and blah, blah, blah. Rex just tilts his head at Derek, studying him in that way only a real working dog can, like he's assessing whether this guy is a threat, a pest, or just an idiot. Sophia, with nerves of steel, says, Gentlemen, I understand your concerns, but Rex and Shadow are exceptionally well trained. Maybe we can meet and review the regulations together. Victoria isn't having it. Ma'am, this isn't a negotiation. This is a legal violation. German Shepherds are inherently aggressive, and our insurance won't cover them. Decision's final. Derek steps closer, trying to get intimidating. He has no idea he's now the subject of a security drill, and the dogs have already locked him in their sights. No growls, no barking, nothing. They just silently adjust their stances, so Derek suddenly feels a chill and steps back, claiming later he was just being professional. Victoria leaves, but not before inspecting our property layout like she's planning a heist, noting exits and the dog's behavior. Derek hangs around after trying to glare at Rex and Shadow from the sidewalk. The dogs just sit and stare at him, quiet, unmoved, almost like they're taking mental notes. That silence, honestly, was more unsettling than barking ever could be. It got under Derek's skin, and you could see it. That night, Sophia and I debrief at the kitchen table while Rex and Shadow patrol the yard. She's not stopping with paperwork, Sophia says, watching the dogs. The filming, the reconnaissance, she's building evidence. She'll try to make the dogs look dangerous. Sure enough, next morning, Derek is across the street at 6 a.m., with a borrowed jackhammer and a plan to break our dog's discipline. For 2 hours, he tries to break them with noise. Rex and Shadow just watch, calm and unbothered. Not a bark, not a flinch. The man looked defeated, honestly, like he realized he was dealing with something he couldn't rattle. Meanwhile, Victoria starts snooping into our past property records, military housing, Old Navy newsletters. She uncovers a photo of Sophia in uniform standing between Rex and Shadow in Navy working dog gear. Suddenly it clicks for her. These aren't just pets. These are trained professionals. She panics. Calls Derek, tells him they've been trying to intimidate Navy pros. Derek, as clueless as ever, just says, so dogs are dogs, right? Yeah, that happened. Now Victoria goes from harassment to full-blown criminal mode. She reaches out to Derek's shadiest friends, arranging for a couple of real criminals to create a threatening incident during Sophia's walk, hoping our dogs will attack and she'll finally have evidence. Derek's in the bushes with a camera expecting to film carnage. Instead, he films a masterclass in restraint. The goons try to menace Sophia, one flashes a knife, but Rex and Shadow move into their tactical stances, cutting off escape, putting themselves between Sophia and danger, never touching, never attacking, just making it clear who runs the show. The men back off, apologizing, and Derek's left scratching his head. Why didn't the dogs attack? Because discipline, Derek, that's what. Victoria's campaign of fake victims starts next. She hires actors to claim the dogs attacked them. But Sophia produces vet records. Neighbors provide security footage, and every fake mauling falls apart under real scrutiny. By this point, some folks start seeing through the lies, but Derek doubles down, going door to door with a petition, scaring parents into signing. He manages to get 43 signatures and presents it to City Council, triggering an official review. Our dogs are now one step from being banned. The neighborhood splits. Some parents keep their distance. Others, like Tommy Peterson and his granddad Sam, a Navy vet, know what real working dogs are like. Tommy asks if he can pet Rex and Shadow, and their gentle response speaks volumes. Sam starts a counter-petition, military families rally, and suddenly there's an organized defense on our side. But Victoria, desperate, targets Sophia's landscaping business. Derek warns clients, costing us jobs and pushing us toward the edge. Sophia, beaten but not broken, announces she'll hold a public demonstration, show the community the real Rex and Shadow. Victoria's terrified this will ruin her campaign, so she hires private security and recruits fake residents to stir up chaos at the event. On the day, Sophia delivers a flawless K9 demonstration, bite inhibition, crowd control, evidence detection. Parents and kids are in awe. Even the skeptics are won over. Derek tries to disrupt by staging a fake emergency. He ends up face first in the snack table covered in mustard, while Rex calmly keeps the kids safe. It's a disaster for Victoria, a win for us. Afterward, families line up to meet Sophia, ask for K9 safety classes, and apologize for believing the worst. Victoria panics, planning one last escalation. At the emergency HOA meeting, she fills the room with her hired concerned citizens, and security guards tries to paint us as public enemies. But it unravels fast. The fakes can't answer basic neighborly questions, and when Derek tries to provoke our dogs, Rex and Shadow go into full tactical mode, neutralize Derek without a nip, and Sophia reveals her credentials. Suddenly, it's not a witch hunt, it's a reckoning. Police arrive, and instead of hauling us away, they recognize Sophia's service, the dog's training, and turn their attention to Victoria's mountain of fraud. She faces federal charges, conspiracy, embezzlement, hiring criminals. Derek's outed as her stooge, and even the security guards lose their licenses for their part in this circus. 6 months later, Victoria's court ordered to clean the park she once tried to use against us. Derek's scooping poop at the local shelter. Rex and Shadow, their local heroes, regulars at school assemblies and veterans events. The HOA is gone, replaced by a veteran-led council focused on service, not power. So never mistake kindness for weakness, especially not in a military family. Sometimes justice really does look like this. The villain picking up trash, the heroes playing in the park. Tell me, did Victoria get what she deserved, or what? Drop your thoughts below. And hey, if you've ever had someone try to railroad your family with lies and intimidation, share your story. We read every single one. We read every